You had the bye last week. Some of the things you kind of focus on in the bye and kind of get prepared for this week.
Yeah, I think it was really twofold. Offensive, I mean, excuse me, with our student athletes. First thing was, kind of recover and getting to spend some time in the training room and work to get over these nagging injuries. And then also on top of that, I gave them opportunity to focus on academics and just get away from football. So a couple of them had an opportunity to go home, visit some family. And then from our coach's perspective, we a big thing for us was recruiting, first and foremost. And then the second thing, we, obviously, which most people do, we did a self scout to see, areas we need to improve in, areas that we can be more efficient in, and things of that nature. But a big thing for us was recruiting, first and foremost, and working to get these official visits set up here in the near future.
Obviously, because thinking about the bye week, we played 6 weeks straight of games. Not many teams have done that. Obviously, we played the week zero game. Can you talk about how that toll has maybe like affected the team?
Obviously we played week zero. We started a little bit earlier than everybody else, and we had to go out six straight. And obviously we're the halfway point through the season right now, and us being 4-2, not where we want to be, but we'll take that. There's a lot of folks in the country that would love to be 4-2 right now. But obviously, we challenged the guys. Midway point, we had a bye week last week, and I thought in my 27 years of coaching, that was probably the best bye week that I've seen. Guys came out with a lot of energy. The focus was there, and a lot of times guys can be worried, ready for the weekend or whatever the case may be. But guys were locked in. I love their energy and our tempo throughout the week of practice. So, it wasn't a vacation, a true bye week. We got a lot of things accomplished this week off, and hopefully we'll be able to get some guys back that'll be healthy this week as well.
Coach O, what's going on? How you doing today?
I'm well. How you doing, Lawrence?
I'm good. I just wanted to talk a little bit about FAMU this upcoming week. I know they're not having necessarily the best season they've ever had. When you're facing an opponent like that, how do you balance, still trying to, deal with the scouting report or, how do you balance that as opposed to also wanting to just focus on, making sure your identity is as strong as possible on game day? How do you balance focusing on those two things?
Right. I think it goes back to what we always preach is about North Carolina Central University, and it's about us. So, regardless of who our opponent is, we have to prepare at a certain level and we have to play at a certain level. So, obviously, we watch film for FAM, and I think they're a dangerous team. They have great length across the board. They're a very athletic football team. And, they played a tough schedule. So, they played Alabama State, who's top of their conference, and then they played an FBS opponent. So, we can't really look at their record and let that, be indicative of who these people are. But again, it's about us, and we just have to be able to, play at a high level. And again, limit explosive plays on defense, getting a rhythm offensively, and win the kicking game.
And then if I could just follow up, as you only have a couple more weeks left until you get to conference play, what things do you want to improve on? Where do you want to see your team when you guys roll into conference play? And then how do you get there in the between now and the next 2 weeks?
The only thing I would like to say about that is just health. I met with our sports medicine staff and team doctors this morning, and just trying to get a game plan on when we're going to get some of these guys back, and have a plan going forward when to expect them back. But that's going to be the biggest thing, is to make sure that we're healthy, ready to go from that standpoint. As far as game plan and where we are schematically, we deal with that when we get to the week of. But we're excited about this last non-conference opponent. We'll take one more bye week and get ready for that last stretch of those conference games.
One of the things you've talked about a lot is getting up to a fast start. And in the last couple of games, last 3 games, we scored on the opening drive each game, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Can you talk about how going down and being able to score early takes the pressure off the offense and give defense chance to kind of pin the ears back?
Yeah, it helps obviously from a confidence perspective, and then from there, you get some momentum, and momentum something when you get that going during the game. And then obviously, as a play caller, whether you're offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, it helps when you get in a rhythm, and you have some early success. You get in a rhythm, and it's much easier to call plays. But I think our coaching staff have done a great job as far as having a game plan going into the game and how we want to attack people, how we want to defend people. and then from there making in-game adjustments. But it helps tremendously when you come out there and have early success like that.
And sticking with the offense, coach, I was going through the stats today. I saw that we have 131 first downs. We're averaging 22 first downs a game, with some teams only have had 50 first downs. Can you talk about how the ball's being moved with Coach Leone and them calling plays?
Well, it starts with the running game. Like I say, when you can run the football and continue to move the sticks like that, it'll open stuff up on the perimeter and taking care of the football. I think that's one thing we preached quite a bit of, and it's okay for every series to end on a kick, whether we score a touchdown and kick an extra point, or whether we get a couple first downs and punt. So I think our offense has done a really good job of taking care of the football. Walker's done a good job of managing the game and taking what people have been giving us. And again, once you get that momentum, and things start to roll, and I think it's much easier when you call them plays. So possession of football has been a big thing, and I think that we've won time possession in most games this year.
Coach, obviously making the trip to FAMU, a place you haven't visited since 2019. Can you talk a little bit about, for what you remember coaching down there?
I've been down there, once since I've been here, and then obviously coached down there several times. Bragg Stadium is a very tough place to play. They usually have great home attendance. I don't know if they have any more, but they used to have two bands. They used to have one band on the visiting side and one band on the home side. So the marching 100 is always deep. But it's always a fun environment, and I love playing those SWAC schools. That's an opportunity for us to be able to step out and play a non-conference, HBCU opponent. And, we definitely want those guys, the SWAC, to return the favor. We do have, FAM coming back up here in 2027, but, we've called several schools down there, the Gramblins and Texas Southerns and quite a few other schools down there trying to get some home-and-home contests. But we're looking forward to the matchup. Obviously, we're going on the road again, but Tallahassee is a tough place to play.
And lastly, Coach, you just mentioned it briefly, like going on the road again. You've had two home games. You haven't played at home in almost a month. Your next home game won't be to homecoming, which is the 25th of October. Can you talk about how tough it is and how hard it is to get the guys up, kind of like playing on the road?
Well, I don't think it's hard getting them excited to play. We just gotta have to, manage the travel logistics, and we want to try to keep our schedule the same whether we're on the road or at home. But I think we have a mature group of guys. They do well when we're on the road. They understand it's a business trip, and we travel first class, so it's usually a fairly comfortable trip, whether it be the airplane flight or the hotel accommodation. So I sleep good when on the road. I always stay in nice hotels, so I don't have any problem with it. But I've been impressed with how our guys, especially young guys, have handled all these road games.
And my last question, Coach, obviously the goal of the game is always to get the win. Can you talk about if there are any other things that you're kind of looking at in this game, kind of like as you get prepared for conference play, any little items that you want to see you get a little better at?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's the main focal point is to get a win. We can correct anything else after the win, but it's so hard. It's hard to win, man, and it is so hard. So that's it first and foremost. I challenge our staff defensively and our players. We have to limit the explosive plays. And we talk about getting better week by week, and that's one way I want to judge our defense is, limiting our explosive plays. Let's make them work for it. Offensively, we want to continue to be efficient. That's the big thing, and I think that our kicking game has been strong all year, but I still would like to see us clean some stuff up coverage-wise. I think Brandon Bowman and Caleb Robinson have done a great job handling our kicking duties as well as our long snappers who never get any credit. But those guys have done a great job, and that's the big thing is we got to improve week in and week out, and especially in a tough environment like this, we must play well.